I want to talk about how retarded eye contact is. Socially expected direct eye contact is nuts, I realized. It's ridiculous, and this has been life-changing for me to realize this, because for so many years I have social anxiety, but what's actually helping it, ironically, is not making myself look at people directly in the eyes. Like, I know all this time for me, it's what I've seen is it's all about how you can be better at making eye contact, and that you have a big problem if you're not making good eye contact and being good, making good eye contact and staring into people's souls and having them stare right into my soul. Like, it's not normal. It's, at least for me. Okay, if you want to do it, go do it. But especially for me with strangers, people, I don't even know you. You could be a psycho. You could be a narcissist. Like, and I'm not going to let you hypnotize me with your eyeballs staring straight into my soul. Okay. So when I stopped making myself, this is how I actually found my sense of safety, was this pretty much this very thing. Because I'm quite an anxious person. My sense of safety now is not forcing myself to look at people and not feeling like a dick if I don't look at them. Although that I'm still working through that, because we have this whole thing about how it's rude not to stare at people the whole conversation. You're being rude and you're going to hurt their feelings. They're going to feel like you weren't listening to them. And okay, I did that myself. Like, I would get offended. The turning point for me was when I realized I didn't have to do that. I realized, like, when I was, I guess, being good listener, eye contact person, then I felt offended if people didn't do it back to me. Like, yeah, my reality completely changed when I realized I didn't have to give people my entire soul and energy and everything. Like, I was just like wide open to everyone energetically. I don't really know how else to explain it. I guess I have a tendency to be in the fawn response, which is just placating everyone and being like an extreme people pleaser, and also feeling like I gotta fill all the empty space in conversations, or be the one to make everyone else in the room comfortable. And what you end up doing is just overdoing everything too. Like, that's not even necessary. Like, no one cares. It's just, you get that when you grow up in an environment where someone was chaotic as fuck. And it was like, how do I regulate this person's emotions and everything? Like, I just don't want to get screamed at. So I'm just going to try to do everything perfectly and be hypervigilant. And so that's why I just carried that on into my adult life. And I'm not in therapy anymore. It's not for me. It's not for me. And it works for some people. I gained what I gained from my therapy, but like, what the universe wanted for me was to just get re-traumatized again and again from different therapists, so that I realized, like, I'm not going to solve it through another person. Like, I got to solve it within myself. And so, but yeah, I had a counselor like raise her voice at me, being like, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Like, and I just looked at her because I didn't know what was going to happen if I didn't. And I just wanted it to stop. And like, no, I don't appreciate being demanded to look at you in your, like, if I'm having a mental breakdown, I'm crying, that particular scenario I was not even supposed to be in a one-on-one session with her. There was like a group therapy, and like someone brought their friggin' kid to the group therapy, and she tried to make it work with the child. And then I got emotional and she rushed me out of the room being like, we can't expose the kid to strong emotions, and like had me. And then apparently that was when because prior to that in my one-on-one sessions with her, we were like working on eye contact, which I did bring that to the table. I think I told her I wanted to work on that. But then instead of inviting me to look at her, and it was just not the time to work. Like, again, I was not even doing a session with her. Like I was just trying to, I guess she just was trying to get me to stop crying. And like, maybe she thought looking at her was going to do, I don't know. So anyways, yeah, it's just, I was really doing the opposite of what I needed to do because I didn't have any sense of safety in social situations because I had all these rules about it that like, if I go to the thing, I got to like make the good eye contact. I have to, I guess talk, like not appear awkward at all or be too quiet or be too whatever. And like what actually has been curing my social anxiety, like I still get it, but like I can chill and calm down. Like for me, it seems like the solution is to, if I'm feeling it, like just go inward, like just go into my own energy and be quiet. Like I don't have to do shit all. I'm just gonna meditate. Like I don't give a shit anymore. Like, and the situations that I was giving a shit about, like, it's not like I was even in a conversation with people, whatever. It would just be like the start of spin class, a gym class, and the awkwardness of before the class starts and people kind of like make small talk, whatever, and like feeling like I had to do that, or like I just was like, what's worse, having to do that and be really uncomfortable, or just like being quiet and then feeling so self-conscious about that I'm like not engaging. Like then when I finally gave myself permission to not engage, when I finally was like, this is not rude, this is not being rude. Like if someone were to then talk to me, be like, oh, hi, I would respond and start engaging with them. But it was like nothing had even happened. Like I just started to actually feel okay and comfortable, not guilty about like closing off my energy and just being inward. And then that would calm me down. And then I would feel calm enough to even be able to like have the conversation. And when I want to do that, and I can't in a way, like if someone's fully just engaging and I'm like, my brain just does kind of shut down now and I just freeze up. Someone asked me a bit ago how I just ran into like an acquaintance and they're like, how are you? And I was like, I just couldn't answer because I didn't want to lie because I was dealing with some shit, I guess. And I did like being like, good. Oh, how are you? Like that just felt so fake, but I didn't want to reveal anything because it didn't feel, I don't really know this person. Like I didn't want to be like, oh, it's all right. Like now looking back, maybe I would have just said like, oh, it's going. But at the time I didn't have anything. This was a new me because I was not doing the fake shit anymore. I'm like, my body cannot do the fake shit. And another point I want to make is you don't have to be autistic to not want to make eye contact, to not be comfortable making eye contact, to not want to do the surface level fake shit anymore, or not be able to even do it. Like I'm just too real now. Like I'm just so real that I can't be fake, I guess. I don't know. I'm experiencing more of the real me after years and years of masking and not embracing how I'm feeling, like dismissing myself for how I'm feeling. Also, I don't know, like what other animals, like obviously humans, we are a type of an animal, still, you know, even though we're very civilized and we have gotten very far from our primal selves, but like at the end of the day, biologically, it's ingrained in us. Like what other species does this eye contact shit? Like it's usually not okay. Like if you look at a bear, you're gonna get attacked. You're gonna get bitch slapped by the bear. And it's not going to be a good day. It's not, you're going to not look at that bear the next time. I've learned my lesson. Like, that was rude to the bear. The bear did not like it. I know there's other cultures that it's not really a thing. It's the opposite. It's kind of rude to actually really look at people, or like people, they take it, it's considered a threat, or in some cultures, I think it's even considered just too intimate, especially if it's like a male and a female and they're not together or whatever. It's just the uncomfortable thing is, like, I have a certain level of toxic empathy, like just too empathic, too overly concerned about other people's experiences and well-beings, and trying to like control their experiences, because I just don't want to ever have anyone else have their feelings hurt or whatever. But that's not even helping them to just never, to not be myself, to be like fake, to prevent them. Like, I don't even know what they're feeling. I'll just assume or be like, oh, well, I would feel this way. And like, I like take it on. Like, I don't know. I take on their emotional experience, and I just try to like manage their emotional experiences. So I have a hard time doing things that someone might consider rude, that they might get offended by. And it's just awkward now because I am having a hard time just implementing it, like not doing the eye contact. Like, I still do it to a certain extent, or try and make little interactions. Where I'm improving is on walks. So if I walk past someone now, I let them engage with me if they want to, but like, I'm not making the first move at all. Like, I am just tunnel vision ahead, and it's still like uncomfortable. I like get a little bit of a panic when we get close, or I have like an urge to just like let them into my energy field. But now it's like, I'm not being an asshole. It's just normal. It's okay. Excuse me. So that's been going pretty well. It's been more of a relief on walks to not feel like, frick, every time I pass a person, I have to like let them into my energy field and acknowledge them and make them feel so special and seen and everything. Other types of interactions, like at my gym, when they tend to always greet you on your way in and out of the gym, the person at the front desk. Luckily, when I went this morning, I'm realizing around 10 a.m., there's not usually a person right at the front desk. They're probably busy doing other tasks. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to go at this time, so that I at least don't have to do like the first interaction. And obviously I don't have to do anything, but then again, like, obviously if they're like, hi, I'm hi back, but like, I can't even say sentences anymore. It's just like syllables. It's like, it's just so simple. Like, I don't know. I go first thing in the morning. Like, after I wake up, my partner, we're on different sleep schedules. He's more of a night owl. So this is the first word that I am speaking out loud to when I interact with these gym people. So it'll be like, hello. Like, it's just so broken and awkward, and it's just, I'm trying to like limit my interactions with people. And some people might think that's avoidance, but it's healing for me, because I realized the big thing, like the whole eye contact stuff, what it represents is being able to retreat in stressful situations. And after being in a very stressful, chaotic environment, like, I continued to just like not ever retreat, because I was also so concerned about not getting over my social anxiety and thinking that I had to do like constant exposure therapy over and over. And then during that exposure therapy, like, not have opportunities to retreat in ways, I guess. Like, it was just so intense. It was like what you would call flooding, I guess. So the eye contact thing is like a way to actually do the exposure, where it's like, okay, I can go and be around people. Like, I don't have to look at them. Okay. I don't have to look at you. I'm sorry, but I get it. I was offended. Like, with my partner, especially, I would get really, I would just assume, I think like, well, he's not listening to me at all, like when I'm talking. And it's just what I kind of grew up with, was like this, unless you're giving like your whole undivided attention, or just staring at the person, looking into their eyes meant you're listening. But that wasn't really true, because when I was sharing, the person that was staring at me was not listening to anything I had to say at all. And it was just, I was like, okay, I'm just still not being like, you're now fully looking at me. Like it does not mean that they're actually listening if they look at you. And I personally, my brain, I have such a hard time concentrating and actually listen here. Like I can't keep up if I'm also looking at them because it's just too much stimulus. Like I have emotional trauma triggers or whatever, like different facial expressions. I move, like I'm just hyper vigilant, more so that I have not fully gotten over that. I'll be getting these extra reactions that cause me to dissociate when someone's talking and telling me something, and then I have to keep trying to refocus. And like when I just don't look at them, I can actually just concentrate and listen so much better. So that's the chat today about the eye contact. See ya.